Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. How beautiful is it up here today? I'm up here on the Car Hill walkway, not a person in sight, the occasional vehicle going past, the crane in operation here at Richard Crook's, where they're building this magnificent residential building down here at Circular Quay. It's going to be interesting that people are going to be spending millions of dollars only to have other people like myself peering into their houses from this walkway. Anyway, welcome to Wednesday. It's just a little bit overcast today. There's a gentle easterly breeze by the looks of it, and it's the beginning of another awesome day here in Sydney. Today it's my third day of my Lenten Fast. It's day 3 where I've been having water only, and I've got to tell you, I'm feeling a lot better than what I was yesterday and the day before. Counterintuitively, it's just amazing how the body functions. As I said, I'm doing a very strict fast. It's more of a monastic fast, but I'm doing it in support of the monks and the nuns who are fasting this time of year for Easter, and for them the monastic fast, or the Paschal fast, the Lenten fast, commences with 3 days of water only. And tonight after sundown, I'm just going to have a small humble meal of nuts and fruit, xerophagia as it's called, so all natural, nothing processed, and then do 2 more days of water only fast. And it's a way for me to connect with all the spiritual people throughout the world, throughout the Greek Orthodox world, throughout the Eastern Orthodox world, who are fasting and praying for each and every one of us. And it's also an opportunity for me as well to live as Jesus lived, for he did his fast as well, and fasting would have been a natural part of God's life. And just to experience what God would have experienced is also something which is very powerful and very uplifting, because being able to live outside of your passions is a very liberating thing. So let's go on a bit of a walk and talk. I just want to have a chat to you about a book summary that I just read on the bus this morning. And the book summary is entitled Social by Matthew Lieberman, where he talks and he makes us understand that being social is the core essence of our humanity. And the bottom line is it's hard to find meaning in what we do if at some level it doesn't help someone else or make someone else happier. So we are very much social beings, and being social is the core to our happiness and the core to our existence. And we need to understand it, and we need to basically learn a little bit more about it to find out what makes us tick. What makes us tick. Because the author says that we have an innate drive to build social connections, which is a primary driver behind all of our behaviour. What the author is suggesting is that our behaviour is based on our connection with other people. And as you can see, there's a group of people there going to work, all wearing the same uniform, all part of the same team. and I guess all feeling connected to a social cause, be it work, be it religion, you name it. But of course there are times where we need to be an individual and basically connect with ourselves, as that runner is doing there, going on his morning run and enjoying himself. But our brain has a default network, according to the author, and the network is called the default network. Pretty simple, but it automatically defaults, and we automatically dwell on our social interactions and relationships with other people. So we have a thirst, we have a craving, we have a need to connect to one another, and it's an enabler to our well-being and to our sense of purpose. So don't underestimate the importance of being social, having circles of friends, being connected, because it's very, very important and critical to everything we do. Because we spend a lot of time, and I can attest to this, because we all spend a lot of time contemplating our relationships with people, and believe it or not, by the age of 10, most of us will have invested at least 10,000 hours in being social, and those 10,000 hours will have made us social experts by the age of 10. So most 10-year-olds have become social experts, believe it or not, because of the number of hours that they've spent at school, in family, playing sport, and basically being one of the team. And the interesting thing and the empowering thing to understand is that new research shows that our need to connect with others is far more important than pain or pleasure, because scientists for many years thought that pain and pleasure were the important drivers to our behaviours. But the author here says that scientists now understand that new research shows that our connections and our connectivity and our relationships with others is far more important, a far more important driver to our behaviour than anything else that we have. And the first structured point to come out of this book is that social pain is as real as physical pain. Scientists have actually done experiments where they show that our brain feels social pain just as much as what it feels physical pain. And we are actually wired to make social connections and to be social. Because rejection, as we all know, hurts, and hurts really bad. And there are tests, there are experiments that have been done which show that if you reject somebody, or if you stop interacting with them or connecting with them, it causes them pain, and the pain can be worse, far worse than the physical pain. And they have a game passing a ball that they tested, and they had people wired up, and they showed that once you excluded somebody from the game, that people were purposely excluded from the ball passing game, and the scan shows that the pain that they were receiving was very, very similar to the pain scan that a person would be getting if they were experiencing severe physical pain. And therefore, it is quite possible, and very possible, for people to die of a broken heart, because that pain is severe, it is real, and it is something which is very heartfelt, one can say. And we've all felt the pain of being left out. We've all felt the pain of unrequited friendships, and we do know the pain that we endure from those sorts of events. The second point to come out of this book is that we need to understand what others think and feel, because it helps us with our social endeavours. So what we're suggesting here is that we need feedback. We need social feedback from our friends, from our acquaintances, from everybody that we connect with. We need feedback because it helps us understand where we stand and how we are better able to connect and add value. Because deep down we all need to be able to cooperate with others, because that's a key to our social interaction, our need for cooperation and our ability to cooperate, and why we have lots of people who, when they stop cooperating with us, cause us grief and cause us pain. Because what happens is that we tend to be able to read each other's minds, because we are all able and capable of discerning what others are feeling or thinking based on our perception. So using our ability to tap into people's body language and to understand facial expressions and hand gestures and body language, we are able, through our perception, to read other people's minds as best we can, a lot better than what we are at listening and understanding what people are saying, because the facial expressions, the body language, the intonation of their language sometimes reveals more about the other person and what they're thinking than what they're actually saying. So the final points that are coming out of this book here is that if you want to have a happy and productive life, it's far more important to be kind than to be rich, is the bottom line. Because being social helps our happiness and well-being infinitely. And that people who are in relationships and who also are involved in charity tend to be far more happier overall than people who are not in relationships and are uncharitable. So take a moment to think about that it's important to volunteer, because through being a volunteer you're increasing your well-being, and that feeling that you get from volunteering, that well-being that you receive, is far better than any financial reward that you could ever possibly get. And hence why you have a lot of people being parts of committees, being parts of groups, contributing to social groups, like a lot of friends of mine who are involved with various brotherhoods, the Mediterranean Brotherhood or the Athenian Society or other groups like that, theatre groups, whatever it is. When you have people working together but as volunteers, not as people being paid for what they're doing, but they do it because of their voluntary needs. Religious groups, for example, church groups, all of those sorts of groupings, all of those social networks are very, very rewarding in many, many ways to those who they help and also to those who give. Because at the end of the day, we all know and we've all learnt that money does not give fulfillment as much as social reward does. And social recognition is far more important than any financial reward. And I guess we've learnt over the years, as we've worked. There's my mate Justin going on his morning run. I'll just give him a whistle on the call. Justin! Justin! There you go, mate. There you go. I've just connected with Justin, made him feel good, I hope. Not bad, as my Freudian slip suggested, but we all need to be connected and feel as if we're part of something important and part of special. Anyway, let's finish up from Jim's 5am Club, and thank you for joining me on this episode on this beautiful morning up here on the Cahill Walkway, and it's a still beautiful autumn day. It's a little bit overcast, but I think that easterly breeze may be blowing that cloud away, and today may be a beautiful clear day as opposed to a rainy day like it was yesterday. So let's finish up. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's take some hacks, some life hacks from this book, Social, by Matthew Lieberman, and learn how to interact with others and to make the most of our social interactions, because it's far more important, far more rewarding than any financial reward that you can get. So the call to action is volunteer wherever possible. Volunteer, become part of a choir, become part of a theatre group, become part of a religious movement, become an active member of your church. Do something that will help others, because through helping others you'll be helping yourself. And enjoy the rest of your day and make the most of your morning. Yassas to all my friends. Filakya from Jim's 5am Club, and we'll chat again. I'm off to work now. Happy days, and all the very best to my friends and family.